Is your fish room noisy? Hopefully it's not that bad, but today we're going to talk about all the different ways that you can help prevent noise pollution from being in your fish room. We want to have it be as quiet and as calm as possible so you can enjoy your fish without having to hear a bunch of crazy noise. I'll share with you all the things that I do to prevent noise and keep everything as calm and quiet as possible. So from that, I mean, you can probably tell that the loudest thing in my fish room is probably the Fritz fridge over here. Like, all the tanks, everything is super quiet because we don't have any water splashing from any of the canister filters, and there just aren't any like cheap filters that would produce a lot of noise. Even if they did, they'd be inside of our really nice water box stands, and those help prevent a lot of noise from entering the room. The only thing that is really loud and kind of annoying would probably be the dehumidifier, which I always turn off before I do any filming, so that does produce some noise, but honestly it's just become a white noise for me. I don't mind it when that thing's on, I hardly ever even notice it, but let's go ahead and let's fire it up so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. So I don't really know if you can even tell how loud it is. I'm sure this microphone is picking it up in a weird way and maybe making it sound louder than it is, but it's not that bad. We'll go ahead and turn that off for the rest of the video. If you're really concerned about noise, hopefully you're a person that just doesn't need to even have a dehumidifier. The only reason why I have one is because I have a ton of tanks down here. There's a lot of water. There's no lids on anything, and we're in a basement that's prone to moisture. There's no drywall on the ceiling. I'm not sure if that really matters or not, but that's why we have one. I'm going to use my steppy ladder to get up here and stare at a light fixture. What I'm trying to show you is the output of our Awaza canister filter, and see how we're getting some surface agitation, but we're not breaking the water, we're not creating any noise from that, and we would be hearing something if the water level dropped down, we got lazy, we let all that evaporation happen, then you're going to hear some splashing. That can be one of the reasons why your fish room is noisy, especially if you're using hang-on back filters. HOBs like this one are positioned in a way to where they create this kind of waterfall-like effect, and on most tanks, depending on what style you have, what brand, you may or may not have a gap between the outflow and the water, okay? I always make sure to have my tanks be as full as possible, especially with HOBs, just to prevent there being any gap and thus any noise. Here's another example of a little canister filter that we have on our other nano tank. It is breaking the water just fine, and we don't have any splashing noises, and the tank isn't even as full as I usually keep it. So by having the tanks full and making sure we don't have any splashing noises from any kind of filters, no matter what type they are, is a really good way to keep your fish room silent. I am currently looking around for the first thing that I wanted to mention that creates a lot of noise in a lot of people's fish rooms, but I don't even think I have one. I'm looking around for an air pump, guys, because air pumps are a notorious sound polluter. I think, yeah, I don't need, oh, there's one. This is a big boy, too. Oh, this thing is huge. I don't think I've ever used this, guys. What is this, like Petco brand, whatever, Imagitarium or something like that? That might be what this is, I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and plug this thing in and let's see what's up with it, because it does look like it has some good rubber feet. That is about all you can do with these, is just try and prevent any random vibration. Like if this thing is touching a wall or something, then it might be shaking, creating a lot of noise. So that's something, if you have to have an air pump, just make sure it has some good rubber legs, it's not touching the ground or the wall of your cabinet or something and vibrating on things, creating extra noise. So there's an example of this particular air pump. We'll go ahead and turn that down a little bit, but we had only one air line plugged in here. We had 3 extras, and you could hear those a lot. I'm sure if you had all 4 of them plugged up, then you wouldn't hear that extra. But that's what you get from an air pump. So you're definitely, if you have to have air pumps, you're going to want to keep them down in your cabinets, and have a cabinet that has not insulation, but is just made out of, good materials that are going to help deaden the sound a little bit. If you're somebody that has a really big, expansive fish room with a lot of tanks and you use a big air pump unit that fuels the whole thing, I know that's a popular way to do it. I don't know anything really about those pumps, and that's a question that's probably better for somebody like Corey over at Aquarium Co-op. Another way that air pumps make noise is by the bubbles that come up to the top of the water in the aquarium. So all those bubbles breaking the surface of the water, that also creates noise. So air pumps are kind of, they're notorious for being noisemakers. Luckily, not all aquariums need to have air pumps, especially planted tanks, guys. So if you have a planted tank and you're using an air pump, I don't think you really need to. That's always going to vary from circumstance to circumstance, depending on like how many fish you have, how planted is your tank really, how hot do you run your tank, things like that. So it's not a complete no for me. I don't want to totally bash air pumps. I think they definitely do have a time and a place. Just down here in my fish room, I don't see any need to use them. Quick sticker commercial break, guys. Check it out. We got a new 5-pack in. So this is the gourami 5-pack. We have the chocolate gourami, the dwarf gourami, the honey gourami, the pearl gourami, and the sparkling gourami. All 5 of those. So if you guys want to get a new 5-pack, this one specifically, these are going to be your freebies this weekend. So you're going to get the holographic honey gourami, free, of course, and then you're also going to get 2 of these little experiments I did, 2 different versions of basically the same drawing, but this is a snake plant. Cool little cartoon houseplant sticker if you guys are into those. So check out the new stickers. There's also another new one, and that happens to be the crebensis. So this was supposed to go into a pack with all the other cichlids. That's a relatively new 5-pack. I just got 6 made and kind of forgot. So this is an individual sticker that you guys can get. And then we also have a new 2-pack. We have the Hillstream Loach. So we got this side, sucking on the glass version, and then we have from the top down. So check out the Sticker Magnet Cling Store if this is what you're into, guys, and thank you very much in advance. Another reason why you might have a noisy fish room is that you just have some older, crappy filters. If you're going to be spending your money on something like a canister filter, it's really important to spend the money and get something that's quality, that's name brand. There's a lot of them out there. You guys know that we use Awaza canister filters. They support the channel, and this one right here is a FiltoSmart 200 Thermo. It's got a built-in heater. It's awesome. I love it. But another reason why I love it is because it is so quiet. Just a super really faint noise of the motor going, and that's it. When you close the doors on the cabinet, it's impossible to hear. We'll go ahead and compare that to this not the raptor tail, to the filter that we have in here, which has been having some issues lately. Wasn't always like this, not really sure what the deal is. There's definitely something going on with this thing. It's not snails. If I try and move it, you would hear if it was snails in the impeller. That's definitely, it sounds like a mechanical thing. Over the years, I've had really good luck with even these kind of off-brand Sun canister filters. I know I did just say that, go with the name brand, you're gonna have better luck, but I actually have had pretty good success with these. I think where it comes with the name brand is that typically you get some kind of a warranty, and that obviously helps if you do get something that's defective, which I think this one might be. Luckily, when we close the cabinet, it gets a lot better, but it's still not perfect. If I really try and focus in on it, I can hear it even from standing over here. So, noise pollution is not good. You want to try and cut it out. Just imagine if we had 3 or 4 filters on our tanks that were making that kind of noise. I might be going crazy. So I don't really have any in-aquarium filtration or pumps or anything like that, guys, other than the pumps that run the waterfall tank, which are super awesome. They're Eco Plus. I've used Eco Plus pumps for forever for like all my do-it-yourself projects, and they're great. But the only thing I can think of is like this skimmer. So we have a little AquaTop, I believe, skimmer on here, and sometimes if it gets in a weird position, like I have the cord in a weird way. If it gets pulled on and it touches the side of the tank, then you can hear it vibrating. So sometimes it's something as simple as that you can fix, and it's not the pump itself. And I guess that's really the only advice I can give you if you have something in your tank like, I don't know, a wave maker. That one doesn't ever have any problems because it has that magnetic base, so it's not really touching the aquarium at all. But sometimes different pumps can be touching the tank, so just make sure that they're not physically touching the glass and causing vibrations and making noise. I can't really talk much about sumps. I've only had a freshwater sump one time, and it was noisy, and I didn't do a good job of preventing it from making noise. So I can't really speak on it, but I know that there's got to be a lot of strategies to make a sump less noisy, right? If you're a sump expert, drop it down in the comments, help somebody out if that happens to be their problem. So yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much all I can think of as far as noisy stuff in fish tank rooms and how to stop them, or at least mitigate them a little bit. If I missed something super obvious, drop it down in the comments, let everybody know. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.